ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the East Lawrence Falcons Coaches Show. I'm your host, Scott Davenport, and as always, it's my great pleasure to be here with Coach Ben Turner. Now, Coach Turner, another year begins. I know it really began for y'all quite a few months ago.
Oh, it never ends.
Well, true.
It never ends.
It's just a cycle, just ticking over one more time.
Yes, sir. Yes,
but
sir.
This past summer, I know that you've had the boys out there. Well, really, ever since they started spring practice, very little break, but had them out there, working out, going through drills, practice, what have you. What are some things, now that this is your second year, what are some things that you noticed different between this year and last year?
Well, how much weight's your boy gain?
Quite a bit. Quite a bit. He's eating us out of house at home.
That's the biggest thing. We are bigger and more powerful. We're not big by any means, but we have gotten a heck of a lot stronger and a lot bigger. And that was one of the things we had to do, and we've got to continue to do. Because we still don't have 300-pounders all over the place like a Dublin does, or like a lot of these teams do. But, we've got those blue-collar kids that are working their butts off and transforming their bodies, and, it'll pay off for them. So.
Yeah. Now, just give everyone sort of a rundown of like a typical day for these guys, because I know, with Palmer coming home afterwards, he'd been through it,
Oh, yeah.
So, what does a typical day consist of?
Are you talking during the summer?
During the
All
summer.
right, during the summer, breakfast starts at 7:30. We start having kids dropped off anywhere from 6:30 though until right up at 8 o'clock. Roll call is at 8. If they're late, we run. As soon as roll call is finished, they'll go out. They'll warm up, do their dynamic warm ups on the track. Then we split into groups. Right now, the way we do it's young and old. We're still too many people playing both ways to go O and D and split that way. And then, we normally lift weights. Our weightlifting program during the summer is normally about an hour and a half to an hour and 40. Is about how long it takes for one rotation to go through. And while one is lifting, the other group is running, and then we swap. Early in the summer, it's easy running, 10 110s, 6 150s, and then by the end of the summer, you're at 20 110s and, 14 to 16 150s. And then, we have a couple of agility days. So they get done with those cycles, which normally takes about 3 hours. So by this time, we're around 11 o'clock. And then we go out, we get our field work. We'll normally get anywhere from, an hour to an hour, well, I should say an hour and 15 to an hour and a half of field work. And then we'd feed them lunch and send them home. Or most days we'd send them home, if we weren't having other things. This summer we had, Trutlin came over and worked with us a lot this summer. So, we had different things going on with them, and Trinity came over, and then, of course, we went a lot of places this summer as well. Yeah. So.
What about the camps that y'all went to this summer?
Well, we went to the University of Georgia because, I'm a big dog fan, so we'll always go to the University of Georgia. Competed at one of their 7-on-7 tournaments and lineman challenges. And we left from there and went to Knoxville, Tennessee, and we went 441 over the mountains since a lot of our kids had never been to the mountains. As a matter of fact, 2/3 of our kids had never been to the mountains. Took a picture on top of the mountain with kids and, showed them things they've never seen. And then we kept
360 degree turn. Yeah.
Then we just kept on keeping on and went to Knoxville, the University of Tennessee, where, more of the same. We did, but except in Tennessee, we did 2 days of 7-on-7 tournaments and lineman challenges. And we really upgraded our hotel this year from last year's hotel. We stayed at a nice place, and that was the most comfortable beds I've ever slept in a hotel room. So it was very nice.
All right. And then Georgia Southern for FCA.
And then Georgia Southern, how do I forget that one? Because that's the most important one. We loaded up and we go to Georgia Southern for Fellowship of Christian Athletes Camp. There you're getting the mental, physical, and then above all the spiritual work. And it was a great camp. It's a full contact camp. I mean, you get to get after it, and then you get your preaching at night. We had a bunch of kids saved again, and actually yesterday I was honored enough to be invited to watch one of the kids that was saved at FCA get baptized yesterday. And, so it makes the grind of worrying about how we're going to pay for it, worth it. But that's a great camp, and all these camps I want to back up for a second.
Sure.
There's a very special person. Everybody knows her as Mama Wood. She makes sure that we eat really good. We eat really good. And I told her when we were getting ready to leave to go to University of Georgia, I said, Mama Wood, look, last year we had snacks from the school, and the school still sent some snacks. Yeah. But I said, Mama Wood, it'd be nice if I could really, we really had stuff for them to snack on and good stuff to drink. And also I want to actually pay for the meals since we were going to have so many of them. I wanted to make sure, they were paid for. Yeah. And she went out, and she is a grinder, right? That woman will grind and grind and grind. And next thing I know, there's money donations coming in, there's drink donations, there's food, there's all kinds of stuff coming in. And she is a very special person, very near and dear to this program, been around for forever. And she is a workhorse. Yeah. And she made sure these babies were taken care of, and they ate like I don't know how many pounds of food were eaten on that trip, but buddy, if you were hungry, it was your fault. Yeah. And then, we didn't have to get her to do that at Georgia Southern because Georgia Southern does a good job of feeding, and we're so busy there wasn't really time for snacks and stuff. And plus, I didn't want to, she worked so hard when I asked her stuff. I didn't want to be like, hey, can you send snacks for another camp, because she's going to be out beating the streets and working her tail off.
She's, like you said, working. She rode with us to the football game Friday night, and she's thinking about stuff in the future.
I know.
While we're just driving down the road talking about Highway 80.
And she the things that she's done, like with getting with Liberty, and we appreciate Liberty so much because Liberty is going to feed us after every away game. And it's an awesome meal, man. I mean, they're getting foot-long subs from my goodness, from Brian's. They're getting foot-long subs, chips, cookie. Man, that's awesome after a game. I'm not gonna lie. I snatched.
That wouldn't be a bad.
I snatched two subs and destroyed them the other night. I don't know which one of my coaches got hurt by that, but yeah, I ate two of them. I don't eat pregame, so I kind of ate them. But yeah, I appreciate Liberty, and that was a thing that they, was Mama Wood got with them, and they're doing that for us. And I just, she makes things so much easier on us because, you see me walking around with my milk crates during the mornings, and, because I try to feed the kids all day long. And so I take care of it when we're at school. When we're not at school, that lady has it on lockdown, and I don't know if she understands how special she is and how much we love her, but we love that lady. Everybody does, and we just, we couldn't do a lot of things we do without her. Mm-hmm. And I know I kind of rambled on that.
No, that's
anyway,
fine.
Camps were awesome.
Now, transitioning from the summertime schedule to once, school's back in session, it becomes a lot more focused, doesn't it?
Yes, sir. And I mean, it's so much easier. Mm-hmm. Because picking up kids, running around. I mean, we do a lot of running around during the summer. because especially the young kids, and we don't have a lot of kids that drive. Now, the kids that do drive, we bless Logan Fleming and Austin Johnson. I don't know how many kids they actually picked up a morning. But, coming from the direction they went by a lot of people that needed rides, so they'd pick them up.
Yeah.
But coaches would have to pick up several kids in the mornings. The thing that's tough on that, some of our coaches would have to get up early because some of the kids aren't good morning people. So, you have to sit out there and beat the doors down until they come outside. But it's just a lot easier when you get into school. And yes, it is more focused because now you're, able to prepare for games.
Right.
I'm not gonna say it's more focused. It's just different.
Yeah.
Because now you're game planning and you're getting ready to actually get on the field to play, and that's what it's all about. Because a lot of people don't enjoy practice. I'm not gonna lie, but the games make everything worth it. So you've got to practice at a high level to play at a high level, and that's something we're still trying to figure out over here.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, folks, we'll be back in just a moment after these messages from our sponsors.
Hey, how you doing? Eric Kate
I'm
Citadel.
good.
Brad Grimes.
I think I'm smelling some gas in my yard out here.
All right, and what area are you smelling at?
Over here in this area, the meter's on that side over there.
Okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna check the meter, make sure there's not a leak there.
Okay.
And then we'll locate the line out and put down a couple holes just to check on the ground to make sure you don't have a leak. We'll check each corner of your house. If you could, just stay on the porch.
Okay.
If you think you have a gas leak, we're on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Call us at 478-277-5048.
I'm Heath Richter, and we just want to invite everybody to come on down to the Houston Clinic and check us out at our new facility. We've been in Dublin for a while now, obviously, but have a new office here, and we'd just like you to come down and see some of the new stuff we're offering. And if you need to get checked out, we'd be glad to do that for you. We've got able to do some ultrasound guided injections now, and physical therapy, and just a little bit better space. So hopefully we can get you in and out of here a little bit quicker.
Come by and see us today at our brand new location, the Houston Clinic, Medical Drive in Dublin.
Dublin Ford Lincoln is honored to call many wonderful people our friends. Bubba and Jan East are some of those friends.
I wanted to take my time, and when you put that kind of money into a vehicle, I wanted to get what I wanted. I didn't want any outside influences, and I felt like they allowed me to do that. I took my time and found what I wanted, and then they helped me get what I liked.
Others call you customers, we call you friends. That's Dublin Ford Lincoln.
We're back with the East Lawrence Falcons Coaches Show. Now, Coach, you mentioned it, before about, practice and how, everyone wants that Friday night, but not everyone wants the Monday through Thursday to get to that Friday night. But we had a Friday night last week.
We did.
And I'm sure it's a welcome change for the guys to beat or to hit people other than their teammates and see scores go up on the scoreboard.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is a welcome change because that's what they spend all year preparing for is to step on the field on Friday night. And we had our scrimmage this past Friday. I mean, there was good, there was bad, there was ugly. There was some real good. But you make your biggest improvement from the first game to the second game. And so, you need that scrimmage where you'll know what you have to get better at. So.
And what did you find, that you feel like, okay, these are areas for improvement?
Well, I mean, we left 49 points on the field in the red zone. Between letting the ball get a little wet and putting it on the ground 2 or 3 times, and then turnovers on downs on 4th and 1s on the 10-yard line, 8-yard line, stuff like that. I mean, that can't happen. Which now, truthfully, real game, I'm kicking a field goal. More than likely, unless it was a team you're not going to beat kicking field goals. But I just wanted to see what we had in us. And there was just too much. Opening drive, we're marching down the field, and all of a sudden we get a cheap penalty on the edge after we got the first down. And that was just kind of the story. We'd get down there and do something stupid or, you know, or not finish. You know, I mean, we did end up scoring some points and they didn't, but, you know, we can't have that. When you get down there, you have to come away with points.
Right.
And like I said, I would attack things a little bit different, especially on
real
a
game situation.
Yeah, I mean, on a 4th and 8 from the 12-yard line. Yeah, I'm probably not going to throw a fade right there. Probably going to kick a field goal. But I just was wanting to see things. I was wanting to see how we handled things. You know, the defense was handling their job, so, you know, I wasn't that worried about them marching down the field on us. You know, I just wanted to see if we could make some things happen under some pressure situations. And unfortunately, we kind of folded up 10. Now there was other times where we didn't, and we did well, but we got to be more consistent.
Yeah. All right. Well, folks, we're going to end this segment right now, and we'll be back in just a few minutes with the last segment of the East Lawrence Falcons Coaches Show. Please honor these sponsors and make this show possible.
When you want effective, exceptional physical therapy and outstanding results, discover Rehab Advantage and Sports Medicine. When your doctor prescribes physical therapy, ask for Rehab Advantage and Sports Medicine. With over 3 decades of combined experience and a unique blend of leading-edge techniques and personal hands-on care, Rehab Advantage in Sports Medicine helps people of all ages and from all walks of life. Patients have been able to overcome pain and the impairments that go along with many ortho injuries and conditions. Rehab Advantage in Sports Medicine is committed to giving you the advanced care you need to a quick, safe return to a normal functioning life. Our veteran team of credited specialists in physical and occupational therapies offer evidence-based manual physical therapy. So when your doctor prescribes physical therapy, ask for Rehab Advantage and Sports Medicine of Dublin. Call for an appointment today at 275-1800.
Portions of this program are brought to you by Curry Companies and Curry Residential, your Caldwell banker, providing real estate services since 1902.
Portions of this program are brought to you by Bailey's Custom Flooring. Treat your home or business to a makeover today with Bailey Custom Flooring, a proven contractor of commercial and residential coverings. Bailey Custom Flooring, locally owned and operated by Bill Bailey, offering floor covering sales and installation. For more information, call 290-6084.
And we're back with the East Lawrence Falcons Coaches Show. Now, Coach, in that last segment, we looked at the things that you feel like, well, anyone watching realize, okay, we need to work on that. The negatives, but, you know, some positives that you can take from the game, the scrimmage game Friday.
Some positives are, I mean, I saw quite a few kids really play hard. You know, I saw young kids because we are very young. Very young. I mean, you know, it was a thing where last year, you know, you played your seniors, you kind of held those young guys out because you wanted them, because you knew they were going to be a good group. You wanted them to learn more. And so when you look at the field and we have, I mean, shoot, on defense, sophomores and freshmen started all over the place. We actually had 2 freshmen start on defense the other night because it was only going to be 1, but we had a kid get sick and he missed a day of practice. And if you miss a day of practice, you don't start. And so I ended up playing the freshman about all night long. It was just because we really didn't have to have the senior. But the freshman, you know, he played well. But, you know, I was very pleased. You know, last year we had a lot of problems on the edge, and we were a lot better on the edge, especially when my safeties decided to really start coming. You know, at my outside linebackers, I have, you know, we've got one kid that he's pretty skippy now, and he made a lot of plays the other night. And Marion Guyton, I always try to call him Marion, but you know, he had, I mean, heck, I think he had 5 or 6 tackles for loss. He RKO'd the quarterback one time. I thought he was gonna break his neck. But you know, he played very hard. He started slow.
Yeah.
It was kind of nervous, and then he got going. And then both my safeties are sophomores, and you know, they started a little hesitant and slow, and playing triple option football, we want them tackling their responsibility every play, and next thing you know, they're blowing up the pitch man every time, and that's what I wanted, and that was something that it just took a minute to sink in with them. Offensively, I saw some very good things on the offensive line. And then I saw, like I said, some very bad things on the offensive line. We didn't run a whole bunch on Friday. Our whole very wide assortment, excuse me. And so, I mean, we just wanted to see how we can handle it. I saw some great effort from some receivers. I saw some terrible effort for some receivers. And there were bright spots everywhere. I mean, you look at your running backs. Your running backs ended up with a very good yards per carry average, and especially with two of them that were running the ball. I about didn't play them because they're beat up. Heck, I probably shouldn't have played one of them. Now he's more beat up. They showed guts, and they got out there and they ran the ball hard. I think Cole was doing a very good job running the offense. He had some miscues later in the game, and he missed some reads, but I think that was more just nervousness of, first game playing quarterback. So, I mean, it's a lot of good stuff to build off of. We got to get better and better and better, week to week in our non-region, and then get ready for that gauntlet come region time, because it is a tough region. I mean, you got... it ain't any easier than it was last year.
Right.
So.
Now, moving into this week's game, the first real one, against crosstown rival West Lawrence Raiders. What are some things that y'all know that you've got to, you're going to be facing this Friday?
Well, let's see. I mean, on defense, I mean, I talked about this last year. He is a great defensive coach. I mean, everybody, their fits are beautiful. Technique is great. He's replacing a couple of guys on the front. He's replacing a couple of guys on the back end. But when you look at that little triangle from middle, from their nose and then those two inside guys, they're back, and they are pretty daggone skippy. I watched the boy that's committed to Kentucky. I can't even remember, De'Eric, is that his name? I watched him rip the supposed #1 offensive lineman in the country at Bleckley in his class. I saw him rip him into pieces the other night on a play that he was trying to wrap and lead on him. And he is much man. The nose man, it went 66-0 in the heavyweight division in wrestling. He is much man. We've got to, we're going to have to take care of those guys. And the thing is, you got the linebacker that has got all the offers, and then the other kid. I mean, heck, I think he might be a little longer. I mean, he's just a good-looking kid, man. So we got to take care of them. We just got to get a body on a body, and we've got to when they hit us, we gotta punch them back, because they're going to come. And we got to create seams, and we've got to be patient and not freak out if they come out and stuff us a couple times, and just do what we do. I think we're much more attuned to be able to do that this year than we were last year. We know that they're going to come out and try to get some matchups against us when we're on defense. They've got some very long receivers, and they've got one very fast receiver. And they like to try to get him on the island and take shots with him. So when they take those shots, we've got to be able to handle him. They've got a very fast running back. We've got to be able to bottle him up. Their offensive line is much better than it was last year. They've done a really good job with them. We've got to make sure that we're hitting our gaps, and we're gap sound up front. We got to make sure we're setting the edge, playing our cutback, and just being sound on defense. And we can't miss a line and do stupid things like we would do last year, year one. So, the biggest thing is we just got to go out there. I mean, play football. And you know, at the end of the night, we'll see how it comes out. I mean, you know, they're a 4A school, we're a AA school. Everybody in the world thinks we're going to go over there and get beat down. But, you know, I told the boys, I said, everybody's going to think that. So why not go out and swing for the fences? I said, you know, they know I don't do well with losing. So we've got to go and we've got to figure out a way to win.
All right. Well, folks, at 7:30 this Friday over at West Lawrence, remind you that Thursday we have a home softball game at 5:30 up at the complex. Plenty of chances for you to get involved in East Lawrence athletics. And as always, go Falcons.